Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving into the absolute muscle of heavy industry, the gearbox. Seriously, if you've ever walked through a power plant, stood next to a massive shipping crane, or even just watched a manufacturing conveyor belt hum along, you've been right there in the presence of these absolute workhorses. So today, we're going to unpack exactly what keeps them running, and, maybe more importantly, how to stop them from literally tearing themselves apart.
Imagine this for a second. You're managing a high-output production line. Everything's humming perfectly. Then, suddenly, you hear it. This loud, grinding screech, followed by total system failure. So what happens when the driving force of an entire factory just grinds to a halt? Well, production stops, revenue bleeds, and you are left staring at a massive, incredibly complex piece of machinery that honestly could have been saved with the right preventative strategies. The stakes of neglecting industrial machinery, yeah, they're absolutely catastrophic.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll look at the anatomy of a gearbox, then how gearboxes actually work. After that, we'll cover common problems and pitfalls, move into the maintenance master plan, discuss essential lubrication and safety, and wrap up with the maintenance advantage.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, Anatomy of a Gearbox.
Fundamentally, a gearbox is a mechanical power transmission device. Think of it as a translator. Its entire job is to sit directly between a driving motor and the driven equipment. It takes mechanical energy and alters it, usually to increase torque, reduce speed, or change the direction of rotation. And the scale of what these things do is truly awe-inspiring. That's exactly why they are so completely vital across an incredible range of applications. Whether we're talking about spur, helical, bevel, worm, or planetary types, gearboxes are the raw muscle behind conveyors, cranes, pumps, fans, turbines, and, well, entire power plants.
Now, it's just incredible to see the sheer number of critical components working in total unison here. You've got the input shaft bringing the power in, and the output shaft sending it out, all housing the gears and bearings. Surrounding all of this is the absolutely vital lubrication system and the oil seals. But I want you to look at those last few points on the list: a coupling, a cooling fan, and a breather plug. It's fascinating, right? Because if a seemingly insignificant little component like a breather plug clogs up, internal pressure builds from the heat, the oil seals blow out, your lubrication drains, and boom, the entire machine dies. Every single part truly matters.
Moving right along to Section 2, How Gearboxes Actually Work.
The basic working principle here is just a beautifully elegant transfer of kinetic energy. Step 1, the motor rotates the input shaft. Simple enough. Step 2, the gear attached to that input shaft engages with and drives another gear. Now Step 3 is where the magic happens. Depending on the sizes of those gears, what we call the gear ratio, the speed and torque are completely transformed. And finally, Step 4, the output shaft takes that newly modified energy and delivers the exact required power right to the driven equipment. It's just a seamless, continuous flow of mechanical translation. This really gets to the core engineering principle of those gear ratios. It's essentially a cosmic trade-off. We are trading speed for raw, heavy-lifting torque. Think about it. If your motor turns a small gear and that drives a much larger gear, the larger gear has to turn much more slowly, right? So the speed decreases. But because of the mechanical advantage, the torque, that rotational pushing force, increases dramatically. It kind of feels like cheating physics, but it is exactly how a relatively small electric motor can lift an entire multi-ton shipping container.
That brings us to Section 3, Common Problems and Pitfalls.
Okay, so these are the massive warning signs you get before a catastrophic failure. If your gearbox is overheating, you're more than likely dealing with low oil or you're just overloading the system. Experiencing heavy vibration? Yeah, that's almost always a coupling misalignment. And listen, a loud gearbox isn't just whining for attention, it is actively warning you of serious gear wear and bearing damage. Similarly, gear tooth damage almost always points straight back to poor lubrication. And bearing failure? Well, that tells you there's contamination in the system. These aren't just little quirks you can ignore. They are serious symptoms of underlying diseases.
Which perfectly cues up Section 4, the Maintenance Master Plan.
You know, the real secret to proper maintenance is that it's absolutely not a one-time event. It's an ongoing, scaled timeline. As you can see, it progresses from high-frequency, really quick visual checks on a daily and weekly basis, shifting into deeper monthly and quarterly analytical inspections, and then ultimately culminating in a massive, comprehensive annual overhaul. It's all about building a reliable rhythm.
On a daily and weekly basis, the actions are pretty straightforward, but they are absolutely critical. Every single day, you need to use your senses. You're checking for abnormal noise, excess vibration, and high heat. Then, weekly, you're doing things like tightening loose bolts, cleaning off the cooling fins, and inspecting the coupling alignment. Please, do not skip these. These simple, frequent steps are exactly the kind of things that catch massive problems super early.
Now, as we stretch into the monthly and quarterly maintenance phases, we dive a lot deeper into the diagnostics. We aren't just looking at the outside anymore. Monthly, you're in there checking for actual gear wear, bearing condition, inspecting for shaft seal leakage, and making sure to top up that gearbox oil. But quarterly, that is where the high-tech analytics come in. You're taking oil samples to test for microscopic metal shavings. You're doing formal vibration analysis and even performing thermography inspections, literally using infrared to spot hotspots before they melt down. We are trying to predict failures here long before they ever actually happen.
And then, once a year, we do the big one, the annual overhaul. This is your total system reset. Step 1, you completely isolate the power supply and drain the oil. Step 2, you crack open that cover to get a direct, visual inspection of every single gear tooth and bearing. Step 3, you ruthlessly replace any damaged parts, seals, and gaskets. Step 4, you clean those internal components until they absolutely shine and meticulously reassemble the unit. And finally, Step 5, fill it with fresh lubricant and run a very careful trial run. You're basically giving the gearbox a brand new lease on life.
Let's transition over to Section 5, Essential Lubrication and Safety.
Let's be crystal clear about this. Lubrication is the literal lifeblood of the gearbox. I mean, it is the only thing standing between smooth operation and total metal-on-metal destruction. Proper lubrication actively reduces friction, it bleeds off the heat, minimizes wear, and even dampens noise. But here's the catch. You can't just dump any oil in there. You absolutely must verify the correct oil grade for your specific unit, which is commonly ISO VG 150, 220, or 320. Plus, you've got to ensure the oil stays exceptionally clean, maintain the absolute proper level, and strictly adhere to the manufacturer's oil change intervals. No exceptions.
Hey, when you go to change that oil or perform any of the maintenance we've been talking about, this next rule is completely non-negotiable. Follow lockout/tagout, or LOTO. You must completely isolate and lock off that power supply before opening any machinery. This is, quite literally, a life-saving procedure. There is absolutely zero room for error or shortcuts when you are dealing with massive rotational forces.
Alongside LOTO, your standard safety baseline has to always be present. Wear your proper PPE, rely on the correct lifting tools, because honestly, these components can weigh thousands of pounds. Never, ever open the gearbox while it's running. Use the correct lubricant and maintain strict cleanliness in your workspace to stop any external contamination from getting in. Bottom line, heavy industrial machinery demands your absolute respect.
All right, our final stop is Section 6, the maintenance advantage. So this is the ultimate payoff for all that hard work. When you actually implement daily inspections, quarterly analytics, strict lubrication, and safe overhauls, the results are undeniable. We're talking significantly longer equipment life and drastically reduced breakdowns. And you know what's kind of counterintuitive? You actually lower your overall maintenance costs over time by preventing that major catastrophic damage. Better reliability and improved efficiency mean less downtime, so proper procedures directly equal higher profits. It really is that simple.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a direct challenge regarding your own facility. Take a hard look at your machines and ask yourself honestly, are you just running your gearbox to failure, simply waiting for the day it screeches to a terrible halt? Or are you proactively maintaining it for the future? The choice, and ultimately your bottom line, is entirely up to you. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive.